So please subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so my name is Mr. Akshay. Welcome to my channel, Professor in Suit. Let's straight away dive into the Heikel EOT, end of the term. Let's start. This is part two. Let's start with the remaining questions. Okay. So this questions, a concert arena is lit by five lights equally spaced around the perimeter. What is measure angle A? So what they want, how much is this angle A? And each of the light is equally lit. Okay, how many lights are there? Five lights. So this whole section is divided into how many sections? You can say one, two, three, four, five. So each light, can I say? So each light, if I talk about only this light, okay, let's take another color so it becomes more obvious. So if I want only this light, so this takes up how much area? This area. So if I want only one angle, one area of the light, one angles of arc, one measure of arc, total is how much? 360. And there are five lights. So each arc will be how much? 360 divided by 5. That's how much? 72 degrees. So this is 72 degree. But what we want, measure angle 1. The measure angle 1 consists of this entire thing. Entire thing means it consists of this full, these two sections. So 72, 72, it will become 144. Now you know that rule, if you have this arc, suppose this angle is 100. So how much will be this angle? If the measure of arc is 100, the angle will be 50. That's half, and vice versa. So if this is 144, how much will be the measure angle? So measure angle 1 will be 144 divided by 2, that's 72 degree. Understood? So that's how you do it. So in this you learn this color. Let's go to the another one. Here, Alyasa makes earning by bending the wire into various shapes. She often bends the wire to form a circle with an inscribed quadrilateral. She would like to know how she can find ADC. She likes to know how she can find the measure angle ADC. So she wants to find ADC. If she knows measure angle ADC, so angle she knows, okay, that is X. So write the formula to find measure angle ADC given that this is X. Now everybody know, just now I told you, that this is angle X, the remaining arc ABC will be how much? 2x. How much it will be? 2x. And total we know how much is it? 360. So measure angle ADC could be found by 360 degree minus this 2x degree. Okay? That's how you find. That's how the Alyasa will find it. Let's go to the next one. Helga is creating a design for tapestry she is making for art class. The design shows a kite inscribed in a circle. Find measure angle SRU and value of x. Let's find x. Now tell me, if this is 50 degree, how much will be this? Same 50 degree. Now in this 50 degree, let's take this triangle now. Once I take this triangle, in this triangle, the sum of all the angles is 180, right? So this angle, and this angle will be 180. That's it. Add them together. So what do you have? 3x plus 4 plus 50 plus 90 equal 180. Do put in the calculator, do shift solve. I always suggest the students to do shift solve because that's faster. Okay, we do shift solve. So 3 alpha x plus 4 plus 50 plus 90 equal 180. Sorry, 180. Okay, now do shift solve. What you get? X is what? 12. So what you get? X is what? 12. So whenever you see this arrow means it is shift and solve. So you get X is what? 12. Once you get x, it's 12, right? Let me verify. Yes. Once you get x, they also want something else. What they want? SRU. What they want? SRU. Now, what is SRU? SRU. This total. So they want this total. So easy. Just find this first and make it double. So how much will be this? Put this x12 here. So how much this will be? So this will be 3 times 12 plus 4. That's 36 plus 4. That's 40. So what will we measure? Angle SRU? Double of it. So 2 times 40. That's how much? 80 degree. Okay. That's how you do it. Easy peasy. Let's go to the next one. Now here AB is a radius of circle A. So AB is the radius. So if AB is the radius, so AB is the radius of circle A. So tell me, if this is 9, this will also be 9. So how much, because this is 9, this will also be 9. So how much will be this total? This total will be 15. Okay. Now what we need to find, determine whether BC is a tangent to circle A. So to prove this is tangent means we need to show that this is 90 to this triangle. So if this is tangent, then this is 90. And to prove this 90, how will you prove it is to be 90? Remember Pythagorean theorem where A, B, C, okay? So if A square plus B square is equal, if it is equal to C square, then that's 90 and then that's tangent. Understand? So in this way we can prove. What is A? 9 square. What is B? 12 square. And what is C? 15 square. Find it separately. This square plus this square, it is 225, and 15 square is also 225. Can you see? What are they? They are equal. What are they? Equal. You see? So they are equal. So if they are equal means what? Angle B is 90. And if angle B is 90, then yes, BC is tangent to circle A. Understood? So that's how you do it. Let's go to the next question. Now, this in this question we are talking about tangents, the equality of tangents. What do we study in this equality of tangent? Okay. Now, what do you study in the equality of tangent? The two tangents which is outside the circle, these two will always be equal. Will always be equal. So this will be equal to this. So what I can say, CP is equal to CD. So x plus 3 equal to 7. So what will be x? X will be 4. Straightforward. In the same way, next one also this will be equal to this. So do AB will be equal to AC. So 4x plus 2 will be equal to 2x plus 8. Solve them. Preferably put in the calculator, do shift solve, or you can solve it manually also. Okay, it's just once you guys know how to put in calculator, do shift solve, that will become faster. Okay, because calculator is always very handy. See, in this question, I think without shift solve also you can solve it, and that will be faster too because it's smaller numbers. As we are solving shift solve, let's do it. So what is the x? 3. So what's the x value? 3. Okay, shift solve. Okay, so that's how you do it. Next one. Let's go to the next one. Federico wants to hang a spherical diagram using a rope. Using a rope. So they are the tangent. If the length of the tangents is the rope, so this is the rope. So he needs to find how much rope is needed to hang this. To find this rope, we need to same like it's a tangent. So we need to move them. This is equal to this. So once you show them that is equal, what you will do? Just solve them together. So 4x plus 4 will be equal to 6x minus 12. Do shift solve. So how will you do it? Do 4x plus 4 equal 6 x minus 12. Let's shift solve. What do you get? X is what? 8. So x is 8. But what we need? We don't need x. We need the rope. How much rope is needed? So this orange one is the rope. So we need the total length of this rope. So we need the total length of this rope. So what you will do? Just find one length and then do double. Okay. So put it x equal 8 over here. So put x equal 8 over here. 4 times 8 plus 4. That's what? 32. 8 for the 32. Plus 4, 36. So total length of rope will be double of it. What's double of 36? 72. So that's the length. Understood? So it's easy. Okay, in inches. Now I want you guys to pause this video and try this question by yourself. Okay, make them equal, solve for x, and after you find x, find AB. Okay, what is AB? This one. Okay, that's it. Put the x back over here and you'll get the AB. Pause the video, do it. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Find the perimeter of triangle JKL. Now, what do you mean by perimeter? The perimeter means this whole thing. Perimeter means this whole thing. So they want this whole thing. The total barra. Now, it's pretty easy. Tell me. We know by tangent rule, the two tangents will always be equal. So if this is 7, this is also 7. If this 11, this also 11. If this 14, this also 14. So what will be the total perimeter? Add them all together. So what it will be? 7 plus 7 plus 11 plus 11. 11 plus 14 plus 14. That's it. How much you get? I think it's 64. Okay. That will be answer. Okay. Let me verify. Is it 64? 7 plus 7 plus 11 plus 11 plus 14 plus 14. Yeah, 64. Okay. So that's the answer. Easy peasy. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Now here. Now to do this kind of question, you need to use another formula. Okay. Now which kind of formula you will use over here? Okay. So let's go to the next one. Find each measure. Assume that the segments that appear to be tangent are tangent. Now, to do this kind of question, we have to use a formula. Now, what is that formula? I'll tell you. That is the tangent and the secants. Okay, so let's go to that question back again. So for when you do this kind of questions where there is two tangents, two tangents and secants. Okay, when they meet each other, like two secants, they meet each other outside the circle, or tangent and a secant which meet outside the circle. So you have a formula. Now you see these two lines. Like if I talk about RP and RV, they are secant because they cut to the circle. So whenever two secants they touch each other outside the circle, or two tangents like DE and EA they touch outside the circle, or a tangent and a secant like UW and US they touch outside the circle, what rule you have to follow? Okay, so there is a rule called as, like if I say there's a circle over here, and if you go like this, so what does the rule says? Like this angle, like if let this be angle X and this be ABC. So I can say the angle X will be equal to half and measure ABC minus AC. Okay, so that's how you do it. So that's the rule you need to follow. Okay, so when you do this kind of questions, you have to follow this kind of rule. Now here, let's go to the first question, angle R. So we need to find angle R. Same rule. So angle R will be equal to half. What is the outside one? 120 minus the inside one, that is 40. Okay, so that will be the answer. So 120 minus 40, that's 80, and 80 over 2, that's 40. Okay, so that's the answer. Same here. What's measure angle u? To find measure angle u, it will be the outside. This minus the inside, that is 60. Now tell me, the total has to be 360, right? So this is 144, this is 60. How much will be the remaining? So it will be from 360 minus it. So do the minus from 360. So 360 minus 144 minus 60. So that's 156. So this will be 156. So what we do, same rule, 156 minus outside minus the inside 60. So how much is 156 minus 60? I think 96 minus 60 and then divide by 2. So how much will be total? 48. When you put all in the calculator, you will get 48. That's 48. Same way, let's do the last one. What they want here, it's little different. They want DPA. That is this they want. Okay. So tell me, if I take DPA as X, how much will be this inside one? This will be what? 360 minus X, right? Simple as straight as it is. Then use the same rule. Okay. So what's the angle outside? 84. So 84 equal half. Outside, what is outside? X minus the inside. What is the inside? 360 minus X. Okay. And then do shift solve. Okay. But when you put do shift solve, be very careful. So what do you do? 84 equal 1 over 2 bracket x alpha x minus 360 minus x bracket. Okay, do shift sum equals. So what's the answer? 264. So what's your angle? So measure angle DPA, that's your x, that's 264 degree. Understood? That's how we do it. Measure angle R, let me box it. So that's your answer. Easy peasy. Okay, let's go to the next one now. Here, find the area of each parallelogram, trapezoid, rhombus, or kite, round to the nearest tenth. Okay. Now to find this area and for the kite and everything, we have to use different kind of formula. Okay, let's do this first three questions because all this first three is called as parallelogram. So what's the parallelogram's area formula? B times H. What was the formula? BH. Okay. What was the area? So area formula is BH. Okay, where B, or you can also say it's a different kind of formula also, base into height. Okay, so what's the height over here? 9. And what's the base over here? 12. So what will be the area? 12 times 9. How much is 12 times 9? That's it. 108. So 108 meter square. Okay. What about next one? Here, same way. Now to find this, you know the base, that's 12, 22, but you don't know the height. Whenever you see a 90, what you need to remember? Which rule? A, B, C. So that's your A, that's your B, that's your C. So do the rule A square plus B square equals C square. Now what is A? Your X square. What is B? That's 10 square. And what is C? 26 square. Okay. Do shift solve or find the value. Okay. How do you find the value? What it will be? X square plus 10 square equal 26 square. Shift solve equals. What you get? X is what? 24. So what's the x? 24. So what's the height? X is 24. That's your height is 24. So what will be the area? B times h. So that's 22 times 24. What's 22 times 24? Times 24. So that's 528. So that's the answer. So what's the answer? 528 meter square. Okay. Now let's do the last question. Question number 3. Here we
So
will use the
please
trigonometry.
subscribe, like, and
Okay.
share
Now
this
here you know
video.
the 60
Thank you.
degree to find h. What is this? This is opposite and this is hypotenuse. So you have opposite and you have hypotenuse. So O and H. So which rule should I use? Sine. So sine 60 is equal to what? Opposite. That's your H over hypotenuse. That's 4. Okay. So bring this 4 here. So H will be what? 4 times sine 60. What is 4 times sine 60? Put it in the calculator. So it's 4 times sine 60 was the answer. 2 root 3. Okay, so that's the answer. 2 root 3. So that's your height. So what's your height? 2 root 3. So what will be your area base? That is 5.5 times the height. That is 2 root 3. So 55 times 2 root 3. What is your answer? Round 190.52. 190.52. But what they want, the round to the nearest tenth. Tenth means what? After point, only one number. So we don't care about this. So that's the answer. Area is what? 190.5. Understood? Easy peasy. Okay, so that's how you do it. The remaining questions we'll do in the next part. Thank you. Thank you for watching.